So with so many people gaming the system, is there anything that we can actually do to stop it? Let's ask Congressman Mike Kelly, who serves on the Social Security Oversight Committee. And Congressman, I'm sure you guys must be grappling with the same issue. I mean, it's obvious that there's massive abuse within this system.
Well, you know, Charles, the program was designed to help those who were vulnerable and who really couldn't go back to work. As you and I were just talking about, the medical advancements and technology would lead most of us to believe that with these advancements, you being hurt and you getting better should be a lot quicker. The span should be better. People should be returning to work. But maybe we've made it too easy to stay on disability. Right. Maybe we made it so easy to stay there that we've taken away the incentive to get up and go back to work. Bad situation the country's in right now.
Yeah, you know, we've got veterans who are returning from Iraq and Afghanistan, with missing legs, and they go out and look for jobs and find jobs, and so. But what do we do? Because it's really unrealistic that we'd have an army of guys planting cars, garbage cans in front of cars and things like that. What do you think the solution would be to stop this abuse? Because it's not inexpensive. It's costing the American taxpayer a lot of money.
And as you just said, a lot of the dollars, the administration of this is going into investigation. You have to question, though, this is a societal problem where there's an old saying used to be, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. If we're not teaching our young people, you want to be part of the cure. You want to be part of an active a group of people who get up every morning and go to work to make the country better. We're looking another way now where all of a sudden this has become a way of life, and not a way to get through a difficult time, but a way of life. There's something wrong with that model, and there's something that we look at and say it's totally unsustainable. We've got to move on. So we have to do the investigations to keep people honest, but really it goes in the hearts of every individual. They know when they can go back to work. And listen, you feel pain differently than I feel pain. I understand that. But you know what? You still have to get back up and get back in the game.
Right. And along that note, I guess, listen, we just came through a long presidential campaign where one of the narratives were, at least the way I interpreted it, was that, hey, if you're down in your luck, it's not your fault. Even if you dropped out of high school, even if you wake up and hit the bong every morning, it's not your fault. Some guy in Wall Street washed away your opportunity. So feel no shame. Take advantage of every program out there. Feel no shame. I've got your back. Stay on this for as long as you want until you feel like you want to re-enter society.
Well, I got to tell you, the people that raised me told me, look, you're going to get knocked down from time to time. The only real problem you'd have is not getting back up or not wanting to get back up. When you don't want to get back up, when you don't want to become part of the solution and not part of the problem, that's where the problem lies. So we're looking at cultural changes now that it's hard for a lot of us to understand, but we've got to go back to what made us great. What made America great was their work ethic. It was their ability to look beyond and to look to the future all the time and say, I can be part of that. We need to get back to that. Now, we do have to still enforce the laws. They're on the books. We want to help those who are vulnerable. We want to help those who are hurt. But by the same token, we have to encourage those that are on the sidelines to get back in the game. And you do that by a message. Listen, the president has a great role. He could be leading that message. Right. He has to lead that message.
I've been saying time, and I'm really dismayed that hasn't been, the tough love angle hasn't been applied here. And the same thing, food stamps, a record amount of money, a record amount of people on it, and people just don't come off of these programs. You think about it, I did some work, and if you live in California and you make 45 grand a year, you don't want to raise, you don't want to lose the earned income tax credit, the child tax credit, the local benefits. You don't want to lose any of this stuff to make the transition from poverty into the middle class, because there's a portion there where you may actually lose net lose money, although we have to your point, make people understand that you're now on the right track to true success. How does that message get out then if you're not in control of the bully pulpit?
Well, but that is the problem. There is a person in control of the bully pulpit. I grew up under a situation where if you tried out for a team, the idea was you had to be good enough to make the team, and sometimes you weren't good enough and you got cut. Right. I mean, there's a lot of examples of people who got cut early on and came back to be great, Michael Jordan being one we all recognize. But whenever you make it the incentive, listen, you don't have to excel. And we just don't want you to feel bad about yourself. I don't want anybody to feel bad about themselves, but what I do want them to understand is you don't have to stay where you are. You
and of course, Representative Kelly, everyone should know you're not just speaking rhetoric. I mean, you were offered a scholarship to Notre Dame to play football, so you know about getting knocked down and getting back up. Really appreciate your time.